Let's get physical. 27th of February until March 3rd. Let's take a look at what we've got. It's actually a quiet week this week, but stick around because there's still some big news I need to make you aware of. But first, this week, Void Terrarium 2 is the least SEO-friendly game title ever. Probably why the original is a bit of an underrated gem. Nobody dares spell or say the damn thing. If you enjoy mystery dungeon style games, then this will probably be your bag. It is quite expensive for what you would think, but you know, that's NIS America for you. They can make any $20 game seem like a $50 game. And hey, the edition they put out for the first game, the nice chunky brick, is actually one of my favorite pieces in my collection, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they do for this. And our executive producers Issa and God of Resin have chosen this as their pick of the week. And if you're in North America and you want to pick it up or any of the retail games in this week's episode, please check the links in the description and the pinned comment. You can buy from Video Games Plus and support us at the same time. Remember, they have worldwide free shipping, over 80 Canadian dollars. Standard shipping is also pretty cheap to the US too. And they're just a nice company. And anyone who buys something with our link, each week they will be put into a draw to win a $10 discount coupon. And this week's winner is Shay F. Congratulations, you will get an email from VGP with your coupon very soon. And that's really it for the big new releases this week, but there are a few games that I've mentioned previously that are releasing in other regions this week. Like, for example, Metroid Prime Remastered. That's releasing in Europe and Japan. Now, remember last week when I told you how I like the Japanese artwork more? Well, between recording the video and publishing it, it turns out the Japanese artwork is the reversible cover, at least in the North American version. I assume Europe too. I mean, that's nice, although the back cover looks a bit bland and dumb, but you know, who looks at the back? It's all about the front. The Rumblefish 2 is releasing physically in Europe this week at retail. Remember, this has been out in Japan for a good while now, and Limited Run were handling it in North America. It'll be in their warehouse somewhere amongst all the endless piles of tat. Souldiers is releasing in Europe this week at retail. Well, okay, it may have been last week, but whatever. As far as I know, this is not getting a physical release in North America, at least not that I've seen, so if you want to import it to North America, check the links in the description. Looks like a pretty good game. Clive N Wrench should be releasing in North America this week physically, if it hasn't already. I was really anticipating this game quite a lot, but the review scores have been all over the place, from a 4 out of 10 to an 8 out of 10. Weird that. And there's a standard and collector's edition available, by the way. That's it for retail. Not much, too much exciting this week, but hey, you can always rely on the low prints. Moon is Limited Run's first game this week, and it's only taken 2.5 years of me being wrong to turn into me becoming right. Back when this lovely game released in Japan, I did say to expect Limited Run to do this, but why it took 2.5 years is beyond me, because really this is one of my favorite games on the Switch. It's not a perfect game, it's just adorable and wonderful and filled with love. People wrongly label it as an RPG because they state it's an anti-RPG, which obviously they don't really understand that connotation. It's just an adventure game. It is a bit obtuse, but once you get used to the time mechanic, it will warm the cockles of your heart. Even my ice-cold, apathetic lump of sinew felt a kindling of something warm and fuzzy. Of course, that could have been the rabbit fur underpants I was wearing at the time, but the game is still lovely nonetheless. There is a standard and collector's edition available. And our executive producers Parsnip Coffee, Robotech, Totally Grateful and Brent McLean have chosen this as their pick of the week. Ocean Heart. What is going on? Even more heart and love? Limited Run missed Valentine's Day by a couple of weeks. Anyways, this is a top-down action game, basically like a Zelda. I mean, the lass on the front is even dressed like Breath of the Wild Zelda, or Link, I don't know, I don't want to get into that debate. But I will debate that I could have sworn that they did this game already. Maybe it's the generic name, maybe it's the Zelda ripoff vibe, but I was really confused when this was supposed to be a new announcement. Too many Switch games that I have to look at each week. I think my brain's just full. I was at a limited capacity to begin with because, you know, I'm from the north of England, but Limited Run, they've been the primary shover of things into it. Can a lawsuit be based around that, shivering my brain too much, making me very confused and senile? And our executive producer Thorn Metal Luna has chosen this as his pick of the week. Earth Knight is their third game this week. At least I think it's called Earth Knight because the font is a tangled mess of a child's scribble. All I remember about this game is that it was in a Nintendo Direct one time and I was really confused as to why. The art style looks awful, like one of them games from Arcade Distillery like Plague Road or Mecho Tales or whatever, and the gameplay looks much indie gameness. But I'm a miserable git, so what do I know? Metacritic seems to think it's alright. And our executive producer Instacritic has chosen this as his pick of the week. Cozy Grove is up for pre-order at I Am 8-Bit right now. I think we all know how goddamn cozy I am these days, but you know what? I'll let Cozy Grove pass because it does look kinda nice. I remember when it first released digitally and I even asked the publisher if they do a physical release because, you know, I might have actually wanted it. But that was before I was suffocated in my own coziness, constricted by an electric blanket with my rabbit fur pants and roasted marshmallows being shoved down my throat until I'm too cozy that I just melt. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. And our executive producers Ozgolo, Cartoon Soren and Jennifer M have chosen this as their pick of the week. Alright, let's head into the imports. We're heading into Play Asia territory. Yeah, if you want to import any of the games shown here, then please consider using our Play Asia links below. Play Asia is always the #1 way to support us, and thank you ever so kindly. Plus, if you click our link, you can also get a very nice 5% off with our current discount code SWTV23. Just remember to click our link first, alright? And of course they have free shipping, over $100. Sainan Tantei Saiga is one of the big releases this week. This is being released in Asia and Japan with English, and this is an adventure visual novel mixing horror and comedy. It looks bright, colourful and interesting, and I am all about this. Looks pretty cool. I just hope the English translation is a decent one and not done by one of my 7th graders. There's a standard and collector's edition available that comes with a soundtrack CD as well as a novel in Chinese. Get learning your fancies. Maybe I'll review this, but considering a big game like Theater Rhythm only got like 3,000 people watch it, yeah, I'm not sure reviews are my thing anymore, but we shall see. And our executive producer Vei, our man in Japan, has chosen this as his pick of the week. And in Japan, this week, they also have these games like the Metroid Prime that I mentioned, if you want a sealed one with the nice artwork. Most of these have English, one of them doesn't. I don't know what's happening with the European retail release of Neo Geo Pocket Color Selection Volume 2. I was expecting it to happen, but it's nowhere to be seen aside from Pix and Love's website. Maybe it'll pop up later down the line, but if you want the Japanese or Asian versions early, then there are links below for that too. It won't be any different, and the Japanese version might turn out a bit cheaper if you have free shipping and our discount code. Yeah, just consider it. Alright, now, that's the end of this week. This week is done. It's dead already. That's why I'm plowing through. And yeah, as I said in the intro, there has been some big news. Remember late last year when 90% of you were cheesed off at Square for selling out pre-orders for Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster in limited quantities in about 20 minutes? Absolute tools. When everyone was sleeping, well, not to worry because Asia has come to the rescue. In a couple of months, Asia is getting an English language release of Final Fantasy 1-6, and it's available to pre-order right now with the links in the description. Go grab it, click our link, go, get a discount, and it'll show Square in Europe and North America. They shouldn't mess around with stuff like this. Hopefully they won't do it again. I've already ordered mine, I can't wait. When I finally get around to Final Fantasy for a bit more Jordan, I will be using these versions probably. And also, there are a few fairly big-ish import announcements that I want to talk about. There's a few that have piled up over the past couple of weeks. Firstly, BATSUGUN Saturn Tribute Boosted. It's coming to the Switch, finally. This is one that I've been waiting for the most, if I'm being honest. I know some will be wary of the publisher, but I would guess Limited Run will get this at some point since they appear to have outbid Strictly Limited with their previous connections to the publisher. There is a standard and collector's edition available, which contains a music CD and a fan book. No word on English, but it's not exactly needed, right? Romancing Saga Minstrel Song Remastered. Already had a South Asian release, yeah, a few of you picked up. Well, now there's gonna be a Hong Kong version happening with new artwork. Now, I know a lot of people like this one a lot more than the basic version that already released, but I don't know. I'm one of those weird ones who liked the simplicity, and I think this one is a bit busy, but you know, now you have a choice. or both if you're double dipping Dingleberry. Redemption Reapers is getting a physical release in Japan with English in late April. This is an old school looking RPG, at least the top down style. I don't really know much about it at the time of writing this, but it came out very recently digitally, and this Japanese physical release seems cheaper than the digital release, which is a win, I guess. So yeah, look forward to this one. SD Shin Kamen Rider Rumble is a game I've mentioned before, but when I did, the game was not available to pre-order. Well, it is now. Be sure to go for the one in the links in the description, because the other version that's on PlayAsia hasn't been confirmed for English yet. So yeah, get the one that's in the description of this video, just to be sure. This looks like a cute little brawler, and I'm very excited about it. Dora, Think! The thrilling brain adventure of Nobita is a game that released a few weeks ago, and unbeknownst to me, it actually has English. It looks to be an RPG mixed with brain training puzzles starring that blue bear thingy, and it could be quite cool. Maybe I'll give this one a shot one time. Could do with it after limited runs mashed up my brain so much over the years. Goonya Monster may sound like the nickname of every Arsenal football club fan, but that's a joke not for 98% of you watching right now. Wasted. Never mind. This is coming in a standard and collector's edition, and it looks like a cheap arcade shooter that's online focused, a 3 versus 1 game. I'm not sure it has much to offer offline, but we'll have to see it later. And the collector's edition comes with an art book, soundtrack, and plush, and it has English, of course. I don't anticipate this one being a huge import exclusive, but you know, I've added it to this video because I do everything. Alright, on to you lot. Executive producer Alex M showed off the rest of the games he got while on a trip to the UK. Last time I checked, Supermarket Shriek is really one of the cheapest games out there, so one to add to the collection if you plan on getting everything if you're mental. I doubt it's ever going to get cheaper than it is now. Executive producer Ozgolo sent in this photo showing off a bunch of games, including Death Road to Canada. It was one of the very early PlayAsia exclusives that was really hard to get a hold of until recently when they started reprinting them. Nice. Ashura G sent in this photo with American Hero from Limited Run. I think a lot of people have forgotten about this one. Boy, do they love their cheesy FMV games. I can't wait until they do that Hulk Hogan one. Executive producer Cartoon Sorensen in this photo, getting in a bunch of games from Limited Run. For some reason, I always get Shadow Man confused with Soul Reaver. I need to play both, so I stopped making the mistake. Chewit sent in this photo with a very early delivery of Hell Pie. I do wonder if the game still has some major issues. Super Rare says it's all patched up, but some people have said that they still have a lot of problems with the game. I don't know. Choco Loco James sent in this photo with the Japanese edition of Tetris Effect. Love that planetary picture, looks super nice, or some may say super deluxe. Executive producer God of Resin sent in this photo. He got in Tandem, which VGP had on discount a couple of weeks back. I think it was like $15 or something like that. Can't go wrong with that price at all. Executive producer Grantser sent in this photo showing off the ever lovely Dragon's Trap. Early Switch release, but still awesome. Executive producer Instacritic sent in this photo showing off Souldiers from Pix and Love. Yeah, technically it sneaked out for release last week. Also nice to see a few obscure imports like the Retro Platformer Collection and Avery Attorney. Michelle Katani sent in this photo showing off the controller edition of Fishing Spirits. I really want to play it. Sal Medina sent in this photo showing off the recent release of Signalis. I really hope this sells well and shows that we could do with more games of this kind. You know, well thought out puzzles, nicely presented, just a really great game. Shlomo sent in this photo showing off the Steelbook of Octopath 2, which I didn't realize existed, and the surprisingly popular 8 Doors. A lot of people bought the North American release. Thanks for the support of VGP. The One sent in this photo, being an absolute boss with Theater Rhythm and Metroid, of course. The other games aren't too bad either. Executive producer Issa sent in this photo with an all-time classic alongside Pirate's Curse, which I've heard is decent too. Alright, let's have a roundup. Radio to Rancid. Josh. Gundam Wing Zero. Twiggy. Remy X. McLaren. Elissa. Needless Dragon. Theo. Starvey. Alright, please send me pictures on Twitter at SoWhatAboutGame, DM me, or you can email it to us at switchwatchspotlight@gmail.com, and you can submit it in our Discord in the submission section, but only send one picture per week. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Let's Get Physical. It's not been like the best episode ever, not the funniest, or you know, yeah, I've had a couple of rough weeks at work, so you know, whatever. Special thanks to our executive producers Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Boombox, Brent McLean, Santa Tartaruga, Alexander Cato, JCross7776, Punky Dooster, Cartoon Soren, Robotech Z, Raven Knight, Thorn Metal Luna, Parsnip Coffee, Isa, Vey, Mental Traveler, Grantsert, Viz, Jennifer M, Instacritic, Precision Play, Kadacha, Ozgolo, Totally Grateful, and Alex M. Plus you. Yeah, you watching right now. If you watched all the way through, please leave me something goddamn cozy. What is the goddamn coziest emoji out there so I can feel even more goddamn cozy? Alright, please go check out some of our other stuff. Didn't have too much last week because I've been really tired and busy with work. And also, I've been writing for A Bit More Jordan, East 1 and 2. I was hoping to have it done this week, but no, I'm just really tired. So, yeah, maybe the week after. And then I'm going to start on my next video project, which looks to be a really huge project. So yeah, please go over to A Bit More Jordan. 10,000 of you watch this video every week. 10,000 of you. I only have 3,000 subscribers over there. So come on, do me a favor, yeah? If you appreciate what I do here, just throw me a bone, okay? Throw me a bone. Just go over there, subscribe, watch a video. You'll probably enjoy it, I think, okay? Yeah, bye.